unemployment has almost doubled in the last 8 years.
Between the two of them, because one is way too warm and the other one, this is way too cold in my opinion.
So
I don't know, like I just noticed it. I'm not. Guy, what do you think?
Was it intentionally?
I think it was.
it's
I hope.
it's not intentional. So yeah, I need to get the consistency.
Do you know about Magic Bullet?
No, yeah, I think you mentioned this to me before.
Yeah, Magic Bullet is an extension you put on Adobe and it deals just with color correction.
Oh, okay, all right.
So it will make things like super easy for you to turn this into a warm color if you want, or to turn the other one into a cold color.
Color temperature as well as like getting the exposure.
Yeah.
Everything. It even has spot exposures.
Okay.
I mean,
If you have a spot that's overexposed, you can just
Oh,
change that. If
okay.
that makes sense.
That sounds handy. All right.
15 months. The
I prefer
question
the
is,
cold
what
look,
is
so-
going to be done
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it?
yeah.
You
Me
know,
too,
folks,
but
I read
they should
somewhere
both
that
have
in
it done.
Russia,
Because it
the
bothers me.
public
I
actually
see it, it's
praise
too-
their government. You know, why can't we be the same? Because there is no trust at all left in the entire political spectrum. People feel like there's no one left to vote for. It's no longer a case of one party or the other. So today's big topic is, what do last night's election results mean to our future? You know, should we throw some of these politicians in jail, lock them up, hopefully they never see the light of day again?
That's not very impartial, Mark.
Judy will be taking the calls if you want to say hello. The number is 81177.
Well, it's interesting that you've
We now
got
go over to James
a
Arnell with
contrast
another
there,
really
but if it's not
uplifting weather
intentional,
report.
then
Take
that's
it
the
down a
first
notch.
thing
I
they'll
mean
shout at you about.
We'll be
Yeah,
right back
definitely.
after these words.
Bit jarring.
It,
Look, we're not here
if it's
to insult or
intentional,
offend
it's
people.
good.
Yeah.
You just
because
deliberately
it's
want to piss
a
everybody.
complete direct contrast, isn't it? Between
Yeah.
you're communicating with colour there, but I mean,
Even if it was intentional, I would still think it needs to be less than that.
it
or
would, yeah,
different.
it's too far. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like black and white. There's an equilibrium between the two. You see, you don't just see one and not the other, right? Or you don't see more of the other and not less. There's an equilibrium. With that, it's like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that shot too dark?
Just trying to give my listeners something different than the usual jargon they have to listen to.
That's
shot there,
fine.
Is that too dark?
But you can't just take over. It's not just your reputation
Not
you're trashing, it's mine too.
These listeners
We don't
expect an
forget
honest
we've got
opinion, yeah?
Lights on in
You
here
want to
as
make an
well.
omelette,
It
you
will
have to
make
break
it
a couple of
darker.
eggs. Otherwise you can kiss goodbye to our ratings and our listeners.
Everything you're doing is upsetting the listeners. And if it carries on, the ratings aren't the only thing you'll lose.
Yeah, alright, I got it.
We just need a little more nuance.
Any word from Linda yet? Ain't like her to be late.
No, not yet. She's been working on exposing the election as a fix. You know how she is with her work.
And you believe her, do you?
Let's just say, I believe there's an answer for everything. Now, back to business.
Okay, thank you, James. Welcome back. Last night's election results are in, and it looks like another success for the Conservative Party. You know, folks, you can feel on the streets this morning the tension as Parliament moves further towards the right. But the question on everyone's lips is, what will the impact of last night's results be? We want to hear from you guys. Okay, we have Kathy on line 1. Good morning, Kathy. Tell us what your thoughts are on last night's results.
I was thinking to insert the voiceovers there.
Okay, so what would you do differently? Well, I'll tell you what, Kathy, I've never heard so much passion. Maybe you should be running the country. Okay, thank you, Kathy. We now go to our next caller, Jack. What are your thoughts?
To me,
I have to say, I'm appalled at what
darkness will be upon us.
can't argue.
You have but
Right.
one
Shadow
question
Council
to ask.
just announced that there's nothing wrong.
Oh, no, it's more of that. Head's
Join the
slightly
final
chopped.
journey and experience
Jack, I'm
the
interested. What do you make of her comments on the Conservative Party? Is it fair to put all the blame onto one party?
The Labour Party are responsible for a generation.
I do
that
like
was
it though.
spent
I
the
do
very
like
moment they were
the
born.
colder
I want
composite.
integrity and respect to be restored in hope that British people learn that you have to work hard
You've
for a
cropped
living.
to just the right
We have
size
to
as
make
well.
more
I
cuts
think.
to get this country
Yeah.
out of debt. So be it. But let's hope it's the last time that we have to clean up
I
Labour's
recognise that
mess.
voice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's your suggestion?
Walter's been so caught up with what he can do that no one has asked what he should do.
I mean, this is a tricky subject, and you make it sound so easy.
What we need is harsher punishment for crime and to restore both traditional and new values.
As in, like, it's supposed to kind of create a bit of suspense and intrigue where you think, oh shit, what, like, she looks like she's having a bit of a tense phone call, what's going on?
In hope that British people learn that you have to work hard for a living. We have to make more cuts to get this country out of debt, and so be it. But let's hope it's the last time that we have to clean up the Labour's mess.
Okay, well, what's your suggestion? I mean, this is a tricky subject, and you make it sound so easy.
What we need is harsher punishment for crime and to restore both traditional and new values and consider today's changing social
The
attitudes.
one that was just
We now go to our next caller. Good morning, Luke.
The very moment they were born. I want integrity and respect to be restored in hope that British people learn that you have to work hard for a living. We have to make more cuts to get this country out of debt, and so be it. But let's hope it's the last time that we have to clean up the Labour's mess.
Okay, well, what's your suggestion? I mean, this is a tricky subject, and you make it sound so easy.
What we need is harsher punishment for crime and to restore both traditional and new values that consider today's changing social attitudes.
I don't know, a couple of
We now go
frames
to our
longer.
next caller. Good morning,
I think I
Luke.
might have put it all together, to be honest. But I hadn't even spotted that before.
10 frames should do it, I think.
Does that shot of her on the phone communicate that something else is going on?
Okay, is this some kind of joke?
Does it just stand out to you? What the hell is that?
Yeah, it does stand out, but then again, like the one just before.
Thank you, Luke.
The
We'll
voice
be
was
right
over,
back after this
wasn't it?
short break,
The voice
so
of the
don't
guy
go anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
We're getting a lot of phone calls. All the lines are busy.
Find out what the hell's going on and get someone to put on the air.
It's just an idea of some music.
it's okay.
This section was completely re-edited.
Hello, Daybreak. How can I help? Okay, what would you like to ask? Hello?
Can I just make a comment?
Go for it.
I think you make the transition way too fast. Like, she just says they're getting a lot of phone calls, and he's like, find out what the hell's going on. How does he jump to the conclusion that something's going on just because they're getting phone calls? Because it can be just like, I don't know,
Oh.
it's a busy day.
Because there's a guy who calls in the voice over missing. He's kind of saying something's going on.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so
Can I take your name? What's this regarding?
I think
Okay, I'm just
when
gonna
we
take
edit
some
the scene,
details.
I drown out her voice, so the music takes-
Okay. We've had a lot of reports that there's been some kind of riot or protest. I can't quite get a fix on it yet, but we've got Ian Harris on the line. Try to keep the sarcasm to a minimum, please.
We interrupt our regular broadcast schedule to bring you breaking news coming from the centre of London. It appears a story is unfolding on our streets. We now go live to an Ian Harris. Good morning, Ian. What can you tell us about these
The music
events?
definitely fills it more,
Cool.
but it needs to get to a peak. Yeah. Because with that kind of music, you're aiming to manipulate the
Is, anyone
audience's
injured or harmed?
emotions.
Calm. Don't want to start
It's next week, isn't it?
I think it's just because the voice was meant to kind of fit into that section.
Well, there you have it, folks. We'll keep you updated as the story unfolds. We'll be back after this short break.
Oh, this bit needs kind of regraded. But you're coming up to the further shot in a second. This is meant to give a sense that time has passed, that she's now kind of gone into like a green room somewhere. And there we go, that's my favourite shot there. Followed by that.
I like
I
that.
do
have
I do
Scott
like its
Davies on
feel.
the line. He's got a good
dark
vantage point.
coldness to it.
I'm still searching for details on the story, but I can't find
Does that
anything.
communicate
We
to
must
you
be the
that
first to break
a
it.
substantial bit of time?
Okay,
now?
folks, we're going to take another
No.
caller. We have an eyewitness, Scott Davies, on the line. Scott, what can you tell us?
The lighting there, you've got spot on.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
In
Hello,
this-
Scott.
yeah. I mean, is that altered in any way?
Yeah, I've altered.
you
Some of the
okay?
shots do change in contrast because I've just kind of experimented as I've gone along here and there.
Who are going to find you?
I don't know what's
That's
happening.
all right
I don't know what
because
to believe.
you've got,
All the lines are busy.
you
There's
know,
strange reports
it
coming in.
bleeds out.
I'm sending you the information now.
But the other shot of your bloody Dutch angles.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Oh, no. Just,
Is it Dutch enough
I
for you?
knew you'd have
Stay
some
where
in
you are,
there. I
Scott.
was waiting for them.
can you get out?
Sorry, what was the point you were going to say before?
There's another shot where the woman's, talking, but it's a shot from the side, medium close up,
Yeah.
and the light's really
Scott, are you
intense.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Spot exposure.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, folks. We seem to have lost our friend. We'll try to return him a bit later on.
That scene where the
Linda? What's going on?
If you do have any loved ones, do not attempt to reach them. I'm not exactly sure of the reasons for these
think
attacks or
that
how many
works?
are involved.
That
I'm
scene,
getting
they have
word
like
in
a
now
guy
that these
who's
gangs are
phoned
surrounding
in
the
to
centre of
really
London in what appears to be a
conversation
politically
on the phone.
motivated attack.
Do you think that
We're also
the
hearing that the
kind of
police have
camera
closed
movement
off the centre of London in order to
Yeah.
contain the
Yeah, there
situation.
was one
appears
that
to look
you can like.
more and more.
Where you go that way, and then you go that way. See you.
So
And
yeah,
you go that way again.
Oh,
So
okay.
you go the same angle. Because you
Yeah.
alternate between the two of them, and at some point you just go from the same angle again.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Random insurgents.
Oh, and I just remembered, you know what? I also didn't like, didn't particularly like in the beginning. There was a shot where you moved. He was just talking, and you moved. You panned a bit, and then how to explain? You sort of turned around in the same shot.
Okay.
Does it make sense? I'm gonna
So-
show it to you because I know which one I'm on
So
about.
when we just
You
kind of
did-
track it around.
Yeah, you're tracking, and then you just came back a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. Well spotted.
What extent, we still don't know. We're going to take another short break, but we'll be right back. What the hell's going on?
It's Linda.
Julie, what is it?
She has evidence of the fix.
What proper evidence, real evidence?
Yeah. Real evidence. It was a setup from the start. And now she can prove it. I just can't get hold of her now. I'm freaking out because what if something's happened to her? She sent us an audio recording between the Chancellor and an MP.
And?
It's real.
Broadcast like that is dangerous. Free broadcasting now, it's not a scoop anymore. It's a risk I'm not willing to take. I'm sorry, but now's not the time.
It's the perfect time.
If we broadcast that, we can make things a lot worse than they are. People don't always know what's best for them.
People have a right to know the truth.
How do we know the good guys from the bad guys, huh?
But it's the right thing to do.
Well, because God says so.
Oh, don't you raise your voice at me. You know what I mean. This is about freedom.
We have to please the majority, yeah. And who you decide what's right anyway.
Whose side are you on here?
It's not about taking sides anymore. Wake up, Judy. We're talking life and death. Will be every man for himself out there.
This is ripe. You know, you've always been selfish. And now you're suddenly talking about the moral good.
If you're wrong, how do you possibly weigh up a risk that big? The point is, Judy, is that things are already getting ugly. And by releasing this, it's only going to exacerbate things that puts everyone, including us, in a lot of danger.
Might be a martyr. When the dust settles, you'll know we did the right thing.
We're at a tipping point. Releasing
there's a distance
No, you
between
wouldn't
him
said
and
to
the
me.
camera,
Do
right?
as
And
you've
he's
been
moving,
done by.
and there's an
Whatever happened to
alteration
that
in
philosophy?
focus. It goes to soft.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was a manual focus shot. Right.
Yeah, it was manual. I sort of think maybe I'm just about to get away with that.
So there again.
You can see more lights actually.
They put me on.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, you're on in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, Britain. This is Mark Ellis for Daybreak Radio. Our top story today has come to its climax. We have breaking news. We have received word from a reliable source. This year's election results have been fixed. We now have an audio clip which suggests that this is true. Let's hear it.
Insert wide shot there.
You know, folks, today is not just another day. Today we're heading in a completely different direction. And although it's just the beginning of the day and we have a long day ahead of us, we know the difference between failure and success is not giving up. So don't listen to that devil on your shoulder, because nobody has the right to tell you what you can and cannot do. This has been Daybreak Radio. I've been Mark Ellis.
We did the right thing. Didn't we? Didn't we?
You know that. Right.
The bands were.
No, like the blue
Yeah.
streak. Have like audio files, like wave.
Oh yeah. No, that's a good idea actually. Yeah.
Because it's radio in it, so radio waves.
Yeah, I might consider doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't understand? What was the shot with the time passing doing? What was its purpose?
Which shot are you talking about, sorry?
When you asked, can you understand that time has passed from that shot? It's her in the room like your favorite shot. Your favorite shot.
Yeah.
What's it doing? What's its purpose?
What's his purpose?
Yeah.
Oh, she's actually looking at a cross on the wall because she, at this point, you realise that she's a Christian, and in the midst of kind of what's supposed to be kind of dystopian.
Well received Daredevil.
it-
Charlie
it's
Cox is
huge,
out here in the U.S.
lots
and
of-
Jury Instant dressing up for the occasion.
That's
All
kind
right,
of what
American
that's
BTG
one of the
viewers,
first
let's see if
things
you can
that
come
you
close
first
to the awesomeness
take
of the pictures
Yeah.
this coming weekend.
So that when you then go
And
back,
while Avengers Age of Ultron is expected to have the most opening weekend of all time here in the U.S.,
is that kind of
another
right?
unexpected headline that came out of the film's
Is that
overseas
correct?
release is that some people were slightly disappointed in the movie. And while the first Avengers
Sorry,
earned
I'm being so
92% on
critical.
Rotten
No.
Tomatoes,
Okay,
as of
but
filming this episode,
I
Avengers
didn't
Age of
look
Ultron
that like
has
as a
a
follow-up. Now
79.
that you explained to me,
Now,
I
to be
got it.
fair, rankings
Okay.
in
But
the
when I watched
70s
it,
aren't rare for Marvel
I
Studios.
didn't get the idea. I just
Iron
thought it's a
Man
random
2,
shot.
Iron Man
I
3,
didn't pick up
Thor,
on it
and
because,
Captain
like,
America
that's
the
when you
First
understand
Avenger
that she's a
all
Christian.
falling within
Okay,
that
I think-
range.
Have you got a shot of the
Most
cross?
critically
Yeah,
important
so,
Marvel
view.
Dated
I've
for the
inserted
Dark
that
World
into
with 66.
my
But
editing
still,
project,
coming
I
off
just
of
haven't
Captain
rendered
America,
out
the
that
Winter
version
Soldier, and Guardians of the
together.
Galaxy,
So maybe when that
this is a
shot's in there,
surprising
it'll make
backslide,
sense.
one
but
Marvel
yeah,
might not be
okay.
able to afford as the superhero landscape becomes more competitive,
But I'll do
including Friendly Fire.
Do
from
it
Netflix's
in
incredibly
reverse. So do
well-received
the
Daredevil.
cross first and then.
Charlie Cox is telling everybody he wants the
Okay.
movie. So as we await the arrival of Avengers Age of Ultron stateside, Furious 7 got
Do it
in
either
one
way.
final
Okay.
I
victory
just
lap,
like to be different.
holding on to the number one spot for
Okay.
a
Because
one week in
I
a
know
row,
you
with the
you
drop
do that
still in
and
the
then the
30th
cross.
Yeah.
You know
percentile.
what I mean?
The highest grossing
absolutely
movie of
no
the year
reason
so
why
far,
you
both
do the
domestically
area
and worldwide,
and
with
the
passing
characters.
1.3 billion.
Okay.
Now there are currently 20
Did
films
you
in the
think it
billion
needs to
dollar
be cut
club,
down?
and Furious 7 is already
That's the
at
first
number 5.
time I've watched it. from
Vin
start to
Diesel and his
finish
crew
without
had
any-
1 month to make their money, and it was all they
Do you think
needed.
it takes too long for things to
Blake
get going?
Lively also hoped to make an impression with The Age of Adeline, but unfortunately, despite a solid Friday showing,
I
ended
don't,
up
I don't
taking
really know,
third
to
place.
be honest.
It
kind of flows.
Started movies, it seems
Okay.
she
Just
won't be
flow.
able to escape her small
What about your
persona.
music? What's the purpose of that?
Purpose of the music. I've only got one bit of music in there at the minute. That's just to kind of give you a sense that the pacing's increased, make it seem a bit more tense. But the rest of the music's quite ambient and drony.
Does it actually mean does ambient like the previous like musical composition? That's new composition, so you're putting that in to enhance the
Yeah.
to and to control the emotions of the audience. But what if try that taken out?
Okay.
And try and have like a background sound going on.
Okay.
So I think you need to destroy the vibration and just have audio to see how it sounds.
Okay.
Because I know for a fact that now they'll probably ask why there's one in there. For me, the music didn't necessarily do anything. It's quite uplifting music,
Yeah.
but it didn't equalise with the visual element. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like, you know when you watch a fighting scene, or when it's always
Yeah.
kind of adrenaline fueled music constantly.
Yeah.
It's enhancing it even more.
Okay.
So try and have a look at that.
Okay. Alright, I'll have to play around with that in post.
That bit